All right, guys, so we're going to be doing a recipe for Rotel balls. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my chicken sausage cooking. I have my hamburger cooking. And then I also have my beef sausage. So we're going to go ahead and let that cook down. And then we're going to move to the next step. All right, guys, so we have here our hamburger meat. I drained it. And now I have the chicken sausage that is done. So I'm going to go ahead and drain that. And then our beef sausage is still cooking. So we're going to go ahead and continue to let that cook. All right, guys, so we're going to season our hamburger meat. As you know, I like to season all my meat. The hamburger, I'm going to season, but the chicken sausage, I don't have to season, or the beef sausage. It's already pre-seasoned. So just a little bit of garlic powder, Badia seasoning, onion powder. And I'm using onion powder because I usually cook with onions, but since I'm making fried balls, my son doesn't like onions like that, so I'm not going to put the big onions in there. So just a little bit of onion powder also, and then adobo seasoning. So we're going to go ahead and continue to let this simmer once I season it and get it all stirred up. All right, guys, so in this bowl we have the Velveeta cheese, cream cheese, sour cream, and then I'm going to add the Rotel. I'm just going to add a little bit for now. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and add some of the nacho cheese, the Tostitos. All right, so I added some mozzarella cheese. Now I'm going to add some of the 4-blend cheese. Okay, so now I'm going to add in some of the Colby Jack cheese. And then you can melt this on top of the stove, but I am going to pop this in the microwave for just a minute or so, not to melt it, just to soften it up so I can get everything mixed and incorporated. All right, guys, so I melted this just slightly, and now I'm going to get it mixed up, and then I'm going to add the meat. All right, guys, so we have everything mixed, all the cheeses. So I'm going to go ahead and add the meat in, and once I get it all stirred together and mixed up, then I'll see if I need to add a little bit more cheese, but I'm going to go ahead and add the meat in. Okay, so I have the dip all mixed and everything. And as you can see, it's like a stiff consistency. That's what you want. You don't want it loose. So now I'm going to go ahead and get these rolled up into balls, and I'm going to place them in the freezer for about 20 to 30 minutes or longer, but at least 30 minutes. Okay, so now I have them formed into a ball, so I'm going to go ahead and pop them in the freezer. And once they get firm, then I'll come back and I will bread them with the panko crumbs and the flour. So we're going to use the panko breadcrumbs and flour. And then we're going to make an egg wash also. Okay, so now we have our balls. They're already formed. They were in the freezer for maybe about an hour and a half. So now I'm just breading them with the flour. Then I'm going to add them to the egg wash. And as you can see, it was kind of hard for the egg wash to stick at first, but it started to stick eventually. So once I finally got the ball coated, I put it into the panko breadcrumbs. And then you'll see, and then I set it to the side and I continue to bread more of the balls. So you want to make sure they're fully coated with the panko. And as you can see, I have some done. I'm going to continue to bread some, and then now we're going to pop them into the frying oil. For here, you're going to see I cut up some white corn tortilla shells, and I'm making my tortilla chips. So you want to put those into the frying oil, but you don't want to let them overcook. So now I am placing my Rotel balls into the frying oil. You want to make sure it's hot enough, but you don't want to make sure it's too high. You don't want them to burn because everything is cooked. So all we're doing is just heating up the cheese and browning the outside. So as you can see, it took maybe probably about a minute to 2 on each side. And then we have our chips. They are nice and golden. You don't want to leave them in too long because they are going to harden as they sit outside of the oil. So I'm placing them on this cooling rack so they will stay crispy. And as I said, you do not want to overcook them in the oil because they will continue to cook outside of the oil. All right, guys. So once we have our chips done, as you can see, we're going to go and check on our Rotel balls. And they are ready to come out. And they are looking delicious. So I made sure I watched them because you don't want to overcook them because the cheese will start to ooze out, as you can see. So now I'm just throwing in some tater tots because we were having Rotel balls, the corn tortilla chips, and then some tater tots. So I'm just frying up a few. And then as you can see, guys, this is what we have. We have the fried Rotel balls, our corn tortilla chips, and tater tots. And when I tell you these balls taste amazing, just look at the inside. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.